Welcome to Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health, alongside the Hagerty family head football coach Tom Herman. I'm Frank Forte. Coach, camp is now over. Classes have begun. What is your perspective on what camp was about, what you wanted to accomplish?
Well, camp was a little bit different this year because 50% of our team has never even played football for Florida Atlantic University. So a lot of those guys were here in the spring, so the expectation of practice was somewhat set, but training camp's its own different animal. You're going every day. It's sun up to sundown, nothing but football. And so just kind of understanding what the expectations are for a bunch of the new guys, and then finding out who are going to be, the 25 to 30 kind of starters, if you will, on both sides of the ball. That we feel like we got done pretty early. We wanted to really form an identity on both sides of the ball. I think defensively, we certainly did that. Offensively, we're getting closer to that. I think we're trending in the right direction. And so I think, we're on track. I wouldn't say we're behind. We're not ahead. We're kind of steady as she goes right now.
Last Saturday, you had your second scrimmage, and while the offense had some pre-snap penalties, which I think prevented them from getting in a good rhythm, Cam Fancher did lead a 99-yard touchdown drive, which ended in a Zuberi Mobley 1-yard run. But the scrimmage was largely played by young players, or guys a little further down the depth chart. Perhaps, you wanted to find out who can help you and maybe who earns a spot on that travel squad.
Yeah, I think, as you said, the second scrimmage at training camp, we kind of know who the guys are that are going to jog out for the first play of the game. And so we've got to, but you travel 70 to East Lansing, Michigan. So we got to find out who those other 40 guys that are going to get on that plane are going to be. And we want to, not that the starters, are a finished product. They needed the work. They got about 10 to 15 reps each. And then, but it was a big focus on some of the twos and threes, if you will. And, I was happy with the way that they went out, and I think, as you said, we're a lot closer now to being able to say, hey, these are the 70 guys that are going to go on this trip to Michigan State with us.
Doesn't guarantee him anything, but one young guy who flashed in the scrimmage, Mike Wright, the freshman safety from Palm Beach Gardens, 2 interceptions, and you love to see that out of a young player when, quote, the lights are on.
Yeah, and Mike's a guy that is behind because he was battling a hamstring injury earlier in camp, missed kind of the first, week, 10 days. And so he's just now kind of getting into his own. And I think this freshman class has been a joy to be around. I think all of them have a tremendously bright future here. But seeing those two safeties and C.J. Hurd and Mike Wright, and I think we're excited about Kyle and some of the other young DBs that we have too. But seeing those two guys and what they're able to do so early in their career has been exciting.
One of the things that happened a couple weeks ago, Day Hill made Bruce Feldman, the college football writer's freaks list, which has to do with his work in the weight room and performance testing. But this is my 9th training camp at Florida Atlantic. I don't remember ever seeing a cornerback get his hands on the football as much as Day has this camp.
Yeah, he's improved a ton. I know it feels like he's been starting around here for a while, but he's so much better than at any point in his career. And right now, all the technical stuff he's doing at a higher level. And so what you're seeing is the thing that's always been there, and that's been the ball skills and the ability to track. And he understands angles and speed and all that stuff. So that's always been there, but he's never put himself, or he's too infrequently put himself in a position where he can't even use those great traits. And so now technically he's in so much better position that you're able to see kind of that natural instinct come out.
This week your 4 captains were voted on by the team: Federico Maranhas, Cam Fancher, Jaden Williams, and Jackson Ambush.
I was not surprised. I was excited to see, although those 4 guys certainly, there was a clear delineation between 4 and 5, but I was excited about 5 through 10. I mean, those guys got quite a bit of votes, and that to me is a testament to the leaders in each position group. Guys like Jaden Wheeler, guys like Zeke Moore, a true sophomore, got a bunch of votes. Nick Marino, our deep snapper, was in the double digits for votes as a captain. So I really do think that we've developed not just those 4 guys into really good leaders. Those guys had it in them before we got here, but I was really happy to see the other guys kind of garner that many votes. It tells me that, hey, you might not have gotten all of those votes or in the top 4, but you're affecting a lot of people. For somebody, these other 4 guys to get all the votes that they got, but for you to get 22, there's 22 votes. There's 22 guys that you've affected in a really, really positive way. So I think that was the thing that made me more proud than even the 4 guys that were named. I mean, that goes without saying the quality of young men that they are. But again, really happy with the depth of leadership that we have.
Some big rule changes this year, or in terms of operation of the game. You got the 2-minute warnings now. You got the green dot helmets, which is the direct communication between the coordinators and one player on the field. And you have the iPads. You can have 18 iPads, and you have to decide how many you want on the sideline, how many upstairs, particularly with the communication in the helmets and the iPads. What effect do you think that's going to have?
Well, I don't know, because it's going to be new for all of us, and we all have the same constraints and limitations. So I think it's just going to be about kind of finding what works for you, finding the best way to be efficient in this new model. But I think it can only help, right? We've had this technology forever. The fact that college football was last kind of on the planet to implement it, it's been fun to be out there and kind of play with. And I think you're going to see a lot better adjustments from the players on the field, having that instant feedback from those tablets on the sideline too. It
is time for that feature of the show that we all love, Tom Herman's Pop Culture Pop Quiz. I'm going to set the clock at 30 seconds, and I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about it before I start the clock. In 30 seconds, name as many Super Bowl halftime performers as you can. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Alicia Keys, Shakira, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Coldplay, U2.
Yeah.
I got a lot. I'm trying to think recently. Rihanna. Rihanna. Boy, she's fantastic.
You got a whole bunch.
Thank you.
Well done on the first one. We gave you a layup coming out of the box.
That was pretty easy.
Coach, we'll talk to you next week when we get ready to go to Michigan State.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
Coming up, meet one of the Owls' many newcomers. Bugs Brown is one of Florida Atlantic's new cornerbacks. That's next on Inside the Owls Burrow.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest techniques to give you an accurate diagnosis, along with surgical and non-surgical solutions, no matter who you are. Our team of specialists will do everything to help you perform at your best again. And with personalized recovery and rehabilitation plans, you'll be back to living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care.
Owls fans, get electrified with Phil Smith Acura with the innovative styles of the premium all-electric SUV Acura ZDX. Enjoy impressive range, convenient charging, and a dynamic drive. And right now, eligible buyers can get up to $7,500 federal tax credit. Scan the QR code to explore the all-electric ZDX. Owls fans, get electrified with Phil Smith Acura.
Do you need a personal injury lawyer?
No recovery, no fees. No recovery, no fees.
You need a personal injury lawyer?
No recovery, no fees.
My current role at the Heat is Senior Vice President of Brand and Chief Creative Officer. In my role, I oversee all of the creative function, including design, branding, copywriting, including uniforms and merchandise. I think what I love most about the MBA Sport program was the combination of real hands-on practical curriculum, solving today's business problems, having high-level discussions around what was happening in the world of sports business.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Florida Atlantic's MBA in Sport Management program, number 10 in the world. By Corona Extra, find the fine life, La Vida Más Fina. And by Phil Smith Acura, drive to win, driven by us. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. This season, about half the Owls roster is new. One type of player the coaching staff targeted in the transfer portal was bigger cornerbacks. One that they found is Kazir Brown, also known as Bugs.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I know y'all heard me, so don't say I ain't tell y'all.
Let's go, Bugs. Create turnover. Do your job, read your keys, do your job.
I didn't start playing football till like 12, 13. I started really, really late. But it was when I started to like move away from baseball, kind of, and you know, I was like, I want to try something new, so they signed me up for football at Hamilton Football League. I was on the Redskins. We had NFL team names. I was on the Redskins, and I started playing running back. That's when I first started playing football.
So you start off your college career at Maine. Were you just looking for a different type of challenge, or just looking to move up in terms of level of competition?
I really chose to leave just to better myself as a player, but not only as a player, but as a man. You know, my time at Maine was great, but I felt like I was at like a standstill or was stuck in a spot, you know, but I wanted to keep on learning and keep on getting better, and I knew I'd be doing myself a disservice if I stayed there just because I wanted to be loyal. You know, everybody got to grow, you know, you outgrow certain things, you know.
And what made this the right fit for you?
Just the coaches, honestly, the atmosphere, but you know, it was really just the time out they took for me, making sure I was okay, asking about my family and stuff like that, really making a genuine connection, not just wanting me as a player, you know, just so they could use me and stuff like that. And then on my visit, it kind of sealed the deal. They made sure I was good, made sure my family was great.
I think I'm gonna get 2 punch outs today.
2 punch outs? Yeah.
I'm just gonna go like this. You're gonna have to put the other arm right there.
I'm gonna always put the other arm right there because I know you.
You know what?
Not even that, I do it, it's a habit now.
Coming out of spring football, what did you want to accomplish, and how far did you get toward accomplishing whatever goals you had in the spring?
I wanted to just become a smarter football player, and I think I did that, especially with the help of the DB coaches and the GAs and things like that. You know, they're really putting in small itty-bitty pieces for us to learn and knowledge for us to know. You know, so I'm progressively getting better with the IQ side of football, you know, because talent and, you know, skill, that takes you so long, but, you know, when it comes to IQ and things and knowing what you're supposed to be doing and knowing the things that most people don't know, getting you ahead of the crowd, it definitely helps.
I got one. He go across, stay in my hood. Hey, watch him cross country.
Your given name is Kazir, but you always go by Bugs. How did you get the nickname?
That's just like my favorite Looney Tunes character, so you know, that just so happened to happen and it stuck. And then ever since I went to my old school, that's just who I was, and, you know, I just embraced that, to be honest.
Tell me something interesting about yourself, your family.
Well, when I was younger, I was in the choir. I used to be in the choir when I was younger. Church choir, yeah. I was a little lead singing back in my day, but, you know, I kind of put that to rest.
Coming up, this owl was the recipient of the Wilma Rudolph Award this summer. More on the journey of Courtney Lamas-Lanier when Inside the Owls Burrow returns. Winning in Paradise is back in action this fall. Head coach Tom Herman leads the revamped Owls roster into the 2024 season with visits from Army, FIU, and USF on the schedule. The band, the cheerleaders, the tailgates, the action, it's all here. Don't miss out on big-time college football fun in Boca Raton. The action continues with men's soccer, women's soccer, and volleyball all embarking on new seasons. All soccer and volleyball games are free to attend. Support Boca Raton's hometown team this year. Go Owls! You're watching Inside the Owls Burrow, presented by Baptist Health. Last fall, we told you the story of defensive back Courtney Lamas-Lanier. his relationship with then high school and now college teammate Andre Lamas, and how Courtney became a part of the Lamas family. Well, this summer, Courtney was one of 5 national winners of the Wilma Rudolph Award, given by the National Association of Academic and Student Development Professionals. The award honors student athletes who've overcome great personal, academic, or emotional odds to achieve academic success while taking part in intercollegiate sports. In light of this, we thought Courtney's story deserved a second look.
With my mom passed away when I was 9 years old from a hit and run, and it was kind of devastating at the time, but as I grew older, I got like better with it, knowing that like she's here in the spirit with me like at all times. 2016, my cousins was shot by their stepdad, my auntie boyfriend at the time, in the home. He shot 5 of them. He killed my older cousin, Nakiria Harris, my other cousin, Corey Johnson, and my auntie, Takia Fulton, and he shot one of my little cousins, but he was able to survive. And he had 3 of his kids in the home that he didn't like touch at all. And that was heartbreaking, man. That was just devastating.
I moved out of my parents' home when I was 16 years old. My sophomore year of high school, I moved in with my grandparents. They needed someone to take care of them. So I moved in with my grandparents, and I told Courtney, I was like, hey man, like if you don't want to stay all the way down south, my grandparents stay 10, 15 minutes away from school. There's an extra room, you got it.
So I was able to stay with them. They welcomed me in their home with open arms, much love. They let me live there, fed me, clothed me, did whatever they can to like make sure I'm comfortable with them. July 22nd, 2019. My junior year going into my senior year of high school. My brother, I guess he had like some situation with this older guy. He say, oh, like, what's up with your brother? Like, what's the deal? Like, we ended up fighting, get up. I got shot 2 times in my back.
I never thought that he would become a statistic. You always read about it, but when you become a statistic, it hits home. We lost him twice. We lost him twice.
Being flatlined twice, that means like dying, coming back, dying again, coming back. Like when they told me that, it was like mind blowing.
He had tubes and masks and whatever, but I went up to him and I held his hand. I just said something, I think to the effect of, you're gonna be okay. We're all here with you and I love you. And he squeezed my hand.
That feeling was amazing. Like, it was something that I actually kind of dreamed of since I was little. Just winning the state championship with people that I grew up with. It was an unbelievable feeling.
It meant the world to have Courtney back on the team for the state championship run. Courtney, even when he was out and he couldn't play, he was still the heart and soul of our team.
Even the doctors that operated him told us that he was never going to be able to play again. And he lost all his scholarships. He went to a prep school, and then he ended up at a small D1 school playing with a medical apparatus attached to his insides, and the schools didn't know because Courtney couldn't tell him, because if he told them, he would have lost his opportunity.
We as a family think of Courtney as a blessing to our family. He has opened my kids' eyes to how fortunate they truly are.
It is truly awe-inspiring to know the things that he has gone through in his life at such a young age too, and to deal with those as successfully and maturely as he has. It's no surprise that he's getting this award this year.
Grateful to him that he allows us to share his story, and he allows us to use him as an example of a guy that comes every day and you have no idea what he's been through. And he just attacks every day with a positive attitude. I mean, grateful, extremely appreciative. And then when guys hear his story, it's like, man, you went through all of that and you still walk around here the way you do? So people kind of look at themselves like, man, I need to check myself.
I thank God every day that he put us in front of him And I thank God more for putting him in front of us. I don't consider him as another son. He is my son. He is my son.
Coming up, the Owls training camp featured some guest speakers. We'll take you in the room when Inside the Owls Burrow returns.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.
To win at this game, you have to put in the work, know the game plan, and execute. At Duffy's, our game is always on.
La cerveza más fina. To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Only then will you find that even if you leave the beach, it never leaves you. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
The FAU MBA Sport Management program really stood out to me because it was in South Florida. It was in an area that I knew, but not only that, it was top in the world, top in the nation, and it was in an area that is really very rich in sports, between professional sports, tournaments, just everything. There's professional athletes that live here. There's really all facets. It was an easy decision for me to make that call to go to FAU because I could get that mix of executive education and that focus in professional sports.
Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Sage Dental, we want to love your smile. And by Shiner Law Group, accident and injury lawyers. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. Let's go inside the lines now at practice with wide receiver Milan Tucker, Wired for Sound. Wired for Sound is brought to you by Shiner Law Group, accident and injury lawyers.
Day 11?
Day 1-0.
Day 1? I want to know. That real, I like that. And they ain't even there yet. Go ahead and boom, boom. Because if you running, and they can run past you. Oh! Hey, boy, you good, boy? I know he did. Oh, boy. Stack me! Yes! What's up, playing? You don't got to worry about us, coach. Everybody else, yeah. Oh, no, square him back up. Yeah. You just trying to run this way. He already know you got to go that way. Yeah. If you get banana, try to get back here. Because now you get to work with the whole field. Yeah, tackling that. Let's go. Go. Hey, we got to finish, baby. Hey, boy. That's grab. And that's a touch. I told you he was going to go scope. You just experienced Mike double Agent Zero.
During training camp, the Owls had several featured speakers, among them former Florida State and NFL quarterback Danny Kanell, a Fort Lauderdale native who still resides in South Florida. Behind the Scenes is brought to you by Baptist Health, official sports medicine providers of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
I just want to help you guys so that you can achieve everything, so you can maximize your ability. All right, you with me? That was the next kind of evolution as me as a practice player was, yeah, when I got my reps, I was dialed in, I was intense, I was focused, but did I mentally prepare when I wasn't in there? Becoming a student of the game is what makes great players great. 117 days, anybody know how much time that is? Anybody know what's 117 days? The American Championship game, Conference Championship game, right? 110 days to the last day of the regular season. It's not that long to make some tough choices and make some sacrifices. Negativity is an absolute culture killer. Avoid it at all costs. And you guys can nip in the bud. You guys see somebody talking about it, I get it, man. There are some days where it is hard. If you can overpower the positivity and have the guys that are bringing the positive mentality and the positive mindset into a room where you can weed it out pretty quick, man, that's the way to have something special happen. But the team has to be first. Embrace your role in the team, no matter what it is, where you are, embrace it. Don't be satisfied, don't be complacent, but embrace your role, whether it's a backup and you're giving scout team looks, whether it's a starter and you're the stud, whatever your role is, embrace it and realize that you bring value to the team if you embrace your role.
We leave you now with some scenes from a team outing marking the end of training camp at Popstroke Mini Golf in Delray Beach, where players and coaches showed off their putting skills or lack thereof. The team was divided into groups of 6 for a fun day, competing against each other in something other than football. That'll do it for this week's show. I'm Frank Forte. Please join us next week for another edition of Inside the Owls Burrow. This has been a presentation of Playfly.
At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, you don't have to be a pro athlete to be treated like one. We use the latest techniques to give you an accurate diagnosis, along with surgical and non-surgical solutions, no matter who you are. Our team of specialists will do everything to help you perform at your best again. And with personalized recovery and rehabilitation plans, you'll be back to living your life to the fullest in no time. Welcome to Pro-Level Orthopedic Care.
Do you need a personal injury lawyer? You need a personal injury lawyer?
If you're tired of the same old boring cars, at Phil Smith Kia, we've got a car for every personality. Need a compact car to weave through traffic like a ninja? We've got it. Want an EV9 that's more spacious than your grandma's attic? We've got it. We'll work with you to find a deal that won't leave your wallet feeling like it's been on a roller coaster ride. Phil Smith Kia, home of the Maximus deal. Right, Maximus? Right. Phil Smith Kia, right here in Lighthouse Point.
At Sage Dental, you'll experience a modern, family-friendly approach to dentistry. From pediatric dentistry and orthodontics to cleanings and oral surgery, we've got the latest technology to provide your family the best dental care all in one place. And for a limited time, get a free new patient exam and x-rays, plus a free ProClean Sonic toothbrush at your first hygiene visit. Book your appointment today at mysagedental.com. Sage Dental. Open up and say awesome.